My friend, when we talk about heaven, we're not talking about some faraway, misty dream. We're talking about a real place, a prepared place for a prepared people. Jesus said in John 14:2, "In my Father's house are many mansions. I go to prepare a place for you." Now the question is, are we preparing ourselves for that place? Heaven isn't a destination reached by accident. It's a journey walked in faith, lit by the virtues that please the very heart of God. Today, I want to share with you 5 golden virtues, 5 divine principles that don't just make your life brighter down here, but make your path clearer up there. If you hold these truths close, my friend, heaven won't feel like a distant promise. It'll feel like your daily direction. The virtue of humility. The crown of the Mecca resists the proud, but gives grace to the humble. James 4:6, my friend, let me tell you something that shakes the heavens. Pride was the first sin that ever stained the universe. Before Adam ever fell in the garden, Lucifer fell in glory. Pride turned an angel into a devil, and humility turns a sinner into a saint. Pride says, I don't need God. Humility whispers, without you, I am nothing. And heaven listens to that whisper. Heaven bends low to that kind of heart. You see, God does not measure greatness the way men do. Down here, the proud are exalted, the loud are applauded, but in heaven's economy, it's the bowed knee and the broken spirit that shine the brightest. Pride builds walls between man and man, between man and God. But humility builds bridges strong enough for grace to walk across. You want to touch the heart of God? Then kneel. You want heaven's power to fill your life? Then empty yourself. Because the lower you go before the Lord, the higher He can lift you. When you stop boasting of your strength, He clothes you in His. When you stop demanding the spotlight, He shines His glory upon you. Listen, there's no throne too high for the humble and no fall too steep for the proud. So today, lay your crowns at His feet. Bow low before your Maker. For the path to heaven always begins with a heart bowed down in humility and ends with a soul lifted up in glory. The virtue of mercy of the heart that mirrors His own blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Matthew 5:7, my friend, if you want to know what God's heart sounds like, listen for the sound of mercy. Mercy is heaven's language, spoken fluently by those who have knelt at the cross and felt the weight of their own forgiveness. You see, mercy isn't weakness. It's wholly restrained. Mercy says, I could condemn you, but I choose compassion instead. That's not natural. That's supernatural. That's the heartbeat of God thundering through a human soul. When Jesus hung upon that cross, blood streaming, breath fading, He didn't cry for vengeance. He cried for mercy. Father, forgive them. Oh, what power in those words. The nails didn't hold Him there. Mercy did. And I'll tell you this, the more mercy you give, the more heaven flows through you. Every act of forgiveness makes you look a little more like your Savior. Every time you choose grace over grudges, you preach a sermon without words. The world says, pay them back. But heaven says, lift them up. The world says, make them suffer. But heaven says, you show them mercy. Don't miss this. A merciless heart can never hold a merciful God. If you want to live in His grace, you must learn to give it. So today, open your hands. Release the bitterness. Let mercy flow like a river from your soul. Because the closer you walk with God, the softer your heart becomes. And when your heart beats with mercy, it beats in rhythm with heaven itself. The virtue of faithfulness of the steadfast soul, be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Revelation 2:10, my friend, let me tell you, faithfulness is the backbone of the believer. It is not loud. It does not sparkle, but it stands when everything else falls. Faithfulness is that quiet fire that keeps burning long after the applause fades. It's showing up when no one claps, praying when no one sees, believing when every circumstance screams, give up. Listen to me. God is not impressed by our moments of greatness. He is moved by our consistency. He's not searching for the gifted. He's searching for the grounded, not for the spectacular, but for the steadfast. Anybody can sing when the sun shines, but the faithful worship in the storm. Anybody can praise when the crowd cheers, but the faithful stand firm when the world mocks. That's the kind of devotion heaven crowns. Faithfulness means saying, Lord, I may not understand, but I'll still trust you. I may stumble, but I'll rise again. I may weep, but I will not walk away. Oh, how heaven loves a soul that refuses to quit. When you keep sowing seeds in dry ground, when you keep praying through pain, when you keep believing through heartbreak, angels take note, and God records it in eternity. Don't you see? Faithfulness may not make headlines down here, but it builds crowns up there. So stay the course. Finish your race. Hold that line of faith like your life depends on it, because it does. For one day, the same Jesus who watched you endure will place upon your head the victor's crown and say with a smile that will melt your soul, "Well done, good and faithful servant. The virtue of purity of the light that cannot be dimmed, O blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God." Matthew 5:8, my friend. Listen carefully. Purity is not about living flawless. It's about living focused. It's the steady gaze of a heart that refuses to be distracted by the glitter of this world. Purity says, "God, you are enough for me." The world mocks purity. It calls it old-fashioned, unnecessary, impossible, but heaven still calls it holy. Purity is not weakness. It is warfare. It is the soul's declaration that I belong to God and end clean will rule my heart. You see, the heart is a battlefield. The enemy doesn't need to destroy you. He just needs to pollute you. He knows that if he can cloud your heart, he can blur your vision of God. But when your heart is pure, when your motives are clean, when your desires are holy, the fog lifts and you begin to see God everywhere. Purity isn't about perfection. It's about pursuit. It's about saying, "Oh Lord, I want you more than pleasure, more than popularity, more than power." It's a heart that beats only for Him. Listen, sin dulls the eyes, but purity sharpens the soul. When you walk in purity, heaven's light shines through you like a window washed clean by grace. You don't just live differently, you shine differently. Oh, the pure in heart don't just see God someday in eternity. They see Him now, in every sunrise, in every answered prayer, in every quiet moment of worship. So guard your heart like it's treasure, because it is. Let no compromise, no secret sin, no shadow dim the flame inside you. For the pure in heart will not just visit heaven. They will see God face to face. The virtue of love, of the golden thread of heaven, and now abideth faith, hope, love. But the greatest of these is love. 1 Corinthians 13, my friend, lean in close. Love is not one of heaven's virtues. It is heaven's very breath. Every angel breathes it. Every redeemed soul radiates it. It is the language of eternity, the heartbeat of God Himself. Faith will one day become sight. Hope will one day be fulfilled. But love will never die. Love is the crown jewel of heaven, the golden thread that ties the heart of God to the heart of man. The cross was not built out of nails and wood alone. It was held together by love. When Jesus stretched His arms wide, He was saying to the world, "This is how much I love you." He loved the unlovable, forgave the unforgivable, reached for the unreachable. That's not emotion. That's divine power wrapped in compassion. Listen, when you love like Christ, you live like heaven. Love that forgives instead of fights. Love that serves instead of shines. Love that bleeds if it must, but never breaks. The world is starving for that kind of love. Not cheap affection, not hollow words, but love that costs something. Love that sacrifices. Love that moves mountains because it first moves hearts. Don't miss this. You can preach without love and make noise, but you cannot live without love and make meaning. So today, let the love of God set your soul on fire. Let it flow through your words, your hands, your very heartbeat. Because at the end of all things, when crowns are cast and time stands still, only one virtue will remain shining brighter than all the rest: the everlasting love of God. The road that leads home, my friend. Heaven is not won by chance, it's walked by choice. And every step we take in humility, mercy, faithfulness, purity, and love draws us closer to the gates of glory. These are not just virtues to admire, they are heavenly habits to live by. They are the golden bricks that pave the narrow road to eternity. When you live humble before men, merciful to the broken, faithful in the fire, pure in the heart, and loving without limit, you begin to look like your Father in heaven. The world may not understand you, it may not reward you, but heaven is watching, and heaven will remember. One day, when this life fades like the setting sun, the gates will open wide, and the voice you've longed to hear will call your name. Well done, my child. Welcome home. That, my friend, is the promise worth living for. That's the crown worth fighting for. That's the eternity worth everything. So walk the golden road. Live for what lasts. Shine with the virtues that please the heart of God, and let heaven see itself reflected in you. If this message touched your heart, share it, and follow for more words that lift your soul and light your way to heaven. Dizzy.